Today we are going to discuss on correlation analysis, and this is Madhushri. So these are the topics that we are going to discuss under probability and statistics. That is correlation analysis and probable error. This carries maximum marks. So I have taken the correlation analysis and how to calculate the probable error, and we'll do hands-on so that it appears for 8 marks with respect to BCU data analytics exam. First, let us understand what is a correlation analysis and what is the significance of it. Why do we do it? A correlation is nothing but we'll perform statistical analysis, and we used to determine what is a degree of relationship. Here, degree of relationship means between two or more variables whether there is a positive relation or negative relation. So in terms of graphs, we have 4 quadrants, right? First, second, third and fourth. Whether it is positively related, whether the curve is towards the negative side or towards the positive side, or nearing to the mean coefficient. If you want to find out such a statistical measure, then we come across correlation analysis. So that is where we use correlation analysis. And next, what is the reason for why we are using correlation? First is the understanding the relationship. So that is what I said, whether it helps to identify whether it is positive or negatively. For example, in economics, understanding the income and expenditure aids. So whether it is positive means I am under income, I am under profit. If it is negative means I am under loss. That means income should not be less than the expenditure. So that is what it means. So if it is negative or positive, it will check. Then next one is we use correlation for prediction. For example, for weather prediction, depending on the humidity and rainfall, it can help us to forecast the weather. So in such situation, we use again the correlation. Okay. And the third one is decision making. Of course, for understanding between the amount spent, sales can guide the managing strategies or marketing strategies, that decision. Next, identifying the dependency. Is there any variable that is dependent so that it is leading to loss? For example, if a company want to judge why the company is under loss, we have to check the dependency and the loopholes. For that, we use correlation analysis. So here I have given one example. Between exercise and health can guide healthcare recommendation. So how is your health? What kind of exercise you do it? So it can help you to overcome that. Then simplifying complex data. So okay, large set of data. So you might have come across this kind of data sets while I have sent you some data sets in order to prepare the dashboards for the companies, right? There I used to send you large amount of data sets. So where you actually have to cut short it, complex things you have to remove it, and again you have to reframe the data and do it. In order to do that, simplifying the complex data, we use the correlation analysis. For that, you have to use an algorithm for doing such kind of things. Otherwise, manually it takes more time. Next is statistical testing. Hypothesis testing is used to do find out the relationship between another. For example, in psychology, researchers can test if the correlation between stress level and the productivity. So productivity, for example, if I want to take more class, what is my stress levels? So that we easy to identify and do it. Then foundation for further analysis is a basis for more advanced statistical techniques like regression. So advanced level of correlation is nothing but regression. That also we will going to study in upcoming videos. But these are the reasons. They may ask you in the exam like why we use correlation analysis or what is the need of correlation analysis. So you have, for 5 marks you have to write all these points in 1 or 2 lines of explanation will serve good. Okay. Then next comes types of correlation. So with respect to graph, I'm showing the data in terms of graph here. So because I have to show whether it is positive or negative, is in what are the directions. So in such situation, what are the type of correlations that comes in the data analytics? First one is a positive. If both variables move in the same direction, one variable is increasing, another also increases. Yes. For example, if I take a child and the mother, as the mother age increases, child age also increases simultaneously. Is there any difference in that? No. If there are difference between mother and child age is 25 years, same keeps on continuing till the end. So that is positive. Next is negative correlation. That means variables moves in the opposite direction. If one increases, another decreases. As the temperature rises, demand for the heater decreases. That is another example. Then zero or no correlation. There is no relationship between the two variables. So shoe size and intelligence have no correlation, right? The people who are intelligent, does it depends on the size of the shoes? No. So nowhere they are related, right? So that we call it as a zero correlation. They may ask you explain the types of correlation for 5 marks. So you have to tell positive, negative, zero, and few more we have, that is linear correlation. So relationship between the variables form a straight line. When you plot a graph will be straight line. For example, sales revenue, advertising spent often show linear. Sales and advertisements show almost linear. Next is non-linear or curvilinear correlation. This are related but not in a straight line. The relationship will be in the form of a curve. Stress and performance. If your performance is high, then stress will also be high, right? Performance and stress. Sometimes stress will be high, performance will be low. Sometimes performance will be low, stress will be high. So that means it keeps on varying in the form of a curve. Next, simple correlation examines the relationship between two variables only, height and weight correlations. They just examines the relationship between two things only. For example, in the data set, height and weight, we'll examine those two things and we will perform the analysis. So that is a types, okay. Then multiple correlations involves 3 or more variable. Instead of taking two things, we can take 3 or more combined together. That is sales, marketing spend, customer reviews. Still more you can keep on adding. So that comes under multiple correlation. And the last one is partial correlation. Relationship between two variable controlling the effect one or more additional variable. So it measures the relationship while controlling for effect of one or more. So you can also control. For example, our studies grades controlling for intelligence. So study hours and grades. Sometimes we may control, okay. Even if you want to study more, we could not do it. Same thing happened for me also. While preparing the video, sometimes I want to prepare but I could not because of the stress or whatever it is. Keep on doing the same kind of task every day may lead to that. So partial correlation is not given in your syllabus, just I have included that. Until multiple correlations you have to explain it properly and write it. So each type of correlation serves specific purpose for finding the patterns and the relationships in the data set. So this is about the correlation. Just you need to understand what is correlation. It is used to find the relationship between two or more variables. What kind of relationship? It may be positive, in terms of graph it may be positive, negative, zero, parallel, multiple, all those things you have to write it, okay. So next, what is the use of correlations? Okay, why significance and uses? Significance means importance, uses means where do you use it. Identify the relationship, then predictive, business, optimizing process, hypothesis, testing, risk management, feature selection, healthcare and medicines. Here you can use it. Okay, I'm not stressing more on that because it is easy, you can do it. Understanding marketing and academic research. So in order to measure the correlations, 3 persons have given some of the formula so that if you implement the formula and do it, it will be helpful. So 3 things are there, that Pearson correlation coefficient, which is denoted with R, Spearman's rank correlation coefficient, PRRS, rank correlation coefficient. These 2 things, Spearman's and rank correlations, are not in the syllabus as the BCU is concerned. So we are going only for Karpearson correlation. It is actually Karpearson correlation coefficient R. That is a factor. So what it does, depending on the value of R, we have to find out the relationship between the 2 variables, whatever it is given to us. So it just shows the relationship. So this is a Karpearson coefficient of correlation. often denoted by R, and it is a measurement of quantity, strength and direction of linear relationship. You can measure, plus after measuring you have to plot and show what is the relationship. So there are two types of formula. So first is this, depending on the data set, I'll just explain you while doing the problems when to use this formula, when to use this formula. One more formula is there when to use that. We will just give there. But if in exam, if it is as explain Karpearsons coefficient, you have to explain with and you have to write the formula. What is this x? Individual data points is mean, we have to find mean of y, you have to find number of data points, that is number of samples that we take during testing. All this analysis will be helpful in the field of research. If you have taken some research paper and if you want to perform some testing on that, then we use that. Okay. Then here we said correlation is represented by R. Then what is this R? After substituting the values you will get R, right? So what is this R? After getting R, where to plot the graph? So what is the meaning of R comes here. If you get result as 1, then you have to write it as perfect correlation. Both variable increase proportionally. Then write a graph, show it is increasing. Now if after substituting in the formula, if you get R as -1, then negative. If one increases, other decreases. If it is 0, then no relationship between the two variables, that you have to specify, plus you have to mention in the graph also. That I will show you while solving the problem. Okay. Then one more, if R is greater than 0.75 and R is less than 1, then you have to write it as high degree positive correlation. If R is greater than 0.75, less than -1, high degree negative correlation. If it is 0.5 less than 0.75, then moderate degree positive correlation. If it is greater than 0.5 less than 0.05, then moderate degree negative correlation. R is greater than 0 and less than 0.5, then low degree positive correlation. You have to mention it and then explain. So when correlation is asked, it is very important to write what is the meaning of R. Easily you can write it and get good marks. Okay. So we have one more concept called probable error. PE in correlation comes generally for 2 marks. What is a probable error? So it is a statistical measure used to assess the reliability. Sometimes even though we have done all such kinds of calculation, but still there are something that we have to give relaxation. So that we call it as a probable error. For example, if in the college they ask you have to give me 100% result, is it possible? Nothing, not possible, because all may not clear the subject. 1 or 2 or 10 people will be there with the backlog. So what I'll do is I'll not claim it as I'll get 100% result. Instead I'll say I'll get 98% result this time. So they will consider. So in such kind of situation, due to some mistakes in the calculations or maybe mistakes in the algorithm or in the systems that we are using, so there can occur some error. So they have kept some constant. So if you get a result within this range, then we will accept. It need not be 100% correct. Okay, some relaxation they will give, that we call it as a probable error that could happen while doing a research, and that is a formula for finding the error. So after you apply the formula, after you find out the value of R, there could be some error. So that we are trying to find. So probable error, they have given it as 0.6745 into 1 minus R square divided by N. If you do this, then it should be within that range specified. So we'll solve the problem, we will get to know how to do that. Within that range, within that 0.75, it should be less than that. If it is more than that, then they will not consider. So only till here they have given you the relaxation that this much error can happen, that is 0.6745, till that error can happen. after that they'll not consider your report. So that is the meaning. Okay. So that's about the correlation and the how to find out the value R and how to plot the things and probable error. Hope you have understood. We will be surely meeting you in the next video with problems on how to solve the equations on Karpearson formula. So thanks for watching. Kindly do share, subscribe and do comments. Your comments are more valuable. Thank you so much.